Coming up on West Dakota Fox News at 9, wild weather wreaks havoc across the country. Plus, North Dakota's First Lady takes the national spotlight. But first, after a law enforcement shakeup, who's protecting Turtle Lake?
This is West Dakota Fox News at 9 with Molly Martinez and meteorologist Henry Blakes. Your first news of the night starts right now on West Dakota Fox News at 9.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. Tonight, Turtle Lake is without protection from law enforcement. That's because city leaders say they need a change. Daniela Hurtado went to find out what's going to happen next.
The city auditor says most of those cameras will be installed on this main street and on streets connected to this main road. I spoke to some people today and they're not against this change. The Sheriff's Department has been keeping Turtle Lake safe since the 70s. This year, the city decided to end its contract with the department. Some residents say they're for this change, while others are concerned.
I feel like it's an open invitation to criminal activity, and I'm concerned about that for the family and the community.
The city says they have limited patrol in the area and they wanted to do something different.
We feel that we could probably do a better job following Garrison's example and hiring a code enforcement officer.
The sheriff says in the last 3 years, the city has averaged 500 calls for service a year.
If cameras is the replacement to the Sheriff's Department, yeah, I hope it works out for them.
Sorry says they will be adding 15 cameras costing about $15,000. That's less than half the amount of the renewal contract with the Sheriff's Department. Rittenbach says she aims to go back to the next commission meeting to express her concerns and learn about the changes. The city auditor says these cameras will be installed within the next month or two. Reporting from Turtle Lake for West Dakota Fox News at 9, I'm Daniela Hurtado.
Let's throw it over now to meteorologist Henry Blakes for our first look at weather.
Hey, it wasn't nearly as cold as it has been, or what's today? Today is Tuesday, right, Molly? Is that correct? Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, so here are your Wednesday morning lows. We're talking about single digits and teens above zero. Mostly clear for tonight with even warmer temperatures for tomorrow, Molly. In fact, we will likely be above freezing by then.
Henry, when it's this cold, it's hard to keep your days straight.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, thank you, Henry.
You're welcome.
Well, Bismarck police have arrested a suspect in connection with a Christmas Eve armed robbery. They say 50-year-old Jerry Holmes, they took him into custody last Friday. They say even though he was wearing a mask, they were able to connect Holmes to the stick-up at the Come and Go on Rosser. Along with the robbery charge, he's accused of resisting arrest and trying to assault an officer. Police in Burleigh County are looking for a woman who has been missing since Saturday. They say 20-year-old Christina Ducart told a friend she was going to turn herself into Burleigh County Sheriff's to answer to a warrant. She then told another friend she was heading to Dickinson. She didn't appear in either place. She's white, 5'5", with blonde hair, and was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt with black and white pants. Well, Bismarck police are looking into an alleged groping incident that happened this weekend at the Quality Inn. A man and woman say an unknown male came into their room. The woman says the intruder groped her before she ran out of the room screaming. The couple also say the intruder stole money and ID cards. The case is under investigation. In state news, some fumbling within the Department of Human Services could be costing North Dakota upwards of $5 million. Chris Jones, the director of the department, says the mistakes like overpayment and system errors have run up a confirmed $648,000 bill. They say programs like Medicaid and CHIP are to blame.
So when you look at an error rate across the entire agency of that small of a percentage, it isn't as great as what you would think that it would be.
Jones says that 70% of those errors have now been fixed. Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit 26,000 for the first time today. Just 12 days earlier, it was at 25,000 for the first time. Despite the rapid gain, some experts say you might not want to put any new money in the market right now.
Well, the Dow, now they're all talking about how it went from 1,000-point gains in the Dow in a month. Now we do it in a week. Again, getting a little frothy. So as far as new money put to the stock market, I'd be careful.
The Dow first traded above 25,000 on January 4th. In energy news, North Dakota may have a gas issue. Production of natural gas set a record in November, but now producers are barely making the cut with gas capture. Bo Evans shows us the numbers.
Natural gas was a hidden jewel from the oil boom, but issues with flaring may cause big problems for oil producers. The statewide requirement for gas capture is 85%. Overall, the state is at 86%, but certain sectors aren't making the cut.
The bad is Fort Berthold is really lagging at 75%, and trust lands on Fort Berthold, they're only capturing 72%.
The problem is the state doesn't have the power to regulate what goes on in the boundaries of the reservation.
We have got to get Secretary Zinke's attention on how can we get gas capture on Indian lands improved, because it's really under their control.
Oil production was up in the state at nearly 1.2 million barrels a day. That can be attributed to a much higher price of oil than what we've seen in more than 2 years.
It would not surprise me that oil stalls out here just under the $65 mark for a while, just because we're going to see rig counts continue to increase on the new profitability we're seeing in the Bakken. And last week we had seen rig counts jump another 10.
But with OPEC announcing this week to extend production cuts through the end of the year, no major price crash is expected.
The North Dakota Oil and Gas Division says 880 barrels of saltwater and oil spilled at a saltwater disposal well in Bottineau County, 8 miles east of Mohall. They say a pump failure is to blame. Operating 31 says the spill was contained on site and all but 2 barrels of saltwater were uncovered. The state inspector is monitoring the cleanup. Today at the White House, a panel of women contributed to discussions on the economy, health care, and national security. North Dakota's First Lady Catherine Helgas Burgum was one of the guests. She participated in a panel about the opioid crisis, a topic dear to her heart. As a recovering addict, Burgum says she has worked for years to bring awareness to the opioid crisis here in North Dakota. President Donald Trump recognized Burgum for her efforts.
I want to thank First Lady of North Dakota, Catherine Burgum, for being with us today. Catherine, thank you very much.
Well, back here, another hopeful is throwing in his hat in the race for Bismarck mayor. Former Mandan business owner Terry Barnes announcing his candidacy. Barnes says he wants to get the city out of debt.
I've got years of living in Bismarck. That's the main thing. Bismarck's gone in a wrong direction right now. It needs to be fixed. Kind of want the old Bismarck back.
Steve Bakken also announced his candidacy last Thursday. Well, after 39 years in law enforcement, Burleigh County Sheriff Pat Heinert says he will not seek re-election. He says it's time for him to move on to a new adventure and away from law enforcement.
It's after 39 years in law enforcement, and especially the way it's been the last 8 or 10, with the increase in crime and the increase in what we've been doing and the facility we built out there with the new detention center. A little wore out, a little tired.
Heinert says he would like to thank all the members of Burleigh County Sheriff's Department, along with the Bismarck and Lincoln Police Departments, for all their support and encouragement over the years. Well, KFYR TV has learned that Bismarck Police Chief Dan Donlin announcing his retirement. Donlin sent out a letter to the department today saying he plans to leave his post between June and September. He thanked his officers for their hard work. Donlin has been with Bismarck PD for nearly 30 years and took over as chief in 2013. Well, a Mandan woman avoided injury after a traffic light fell on her car this weekend. It happened Saturday in Bismarck. A viewer sent us this video of the aftermath. The 30-year-old woman told police she was driving when she noticed the pole starting to tilt. Police say she started to brake but wasn't able to dodge the pole. Her windshield shattered on impact. Well, there's a Powerball winner in Dickinson tonight, and their ticket is worth $100,000. Lottery officials say the ticket matched 4 white balls in Saturday's drawing. Those winning numbers are 14, 25, 35, 58, and 69 with a Powerball of 24. The winner has 6 months to claim their prize. A horrific discovery inside a quiet California neighborhood. 12 starving children chained to their beds. Reporter Stephanie Stanton has the story.
It's actually shocking.
A sentiment echoed by many neighbors in this Paris subdivision who can't believe the atrocities authorities say went on behind closed doors. Kimberly Milligan moved here 2.5 years ago and was told the family across the street had 12 children.
You never saw a bike in the front yard. You never saw a skateboard, a scooter. You never saw that.
The home on Muir Woods Road, owned by 57-year-old David Turpin, seen here in a mugshot, alongside his 49-year-old wife, Louise. The couple arrested on multiple counts of child abuse after officials say they starved and tortured their children. A neighbor's security camera captured Riverside County Sheriff's deputies outside the family's home Sunday morning. Authorities led there by a 17-year-old who reportedly escaped and called 911. Inside, authorities say they found 12 other siblings, ages 2 to 29, being held captive, many of them emaciated and chained to their beds, living in darkness and filth.
And when I hear that, I get teary-eyed because it's just so sad. Why would parents have kids, or why would people have kids just treat them like that?
This is a picture of the family in happier times. It was posted in 2016 on the couple's joint Facebook page during a vow renewal ceremony in Las Vegas. The family reportedly fell on hard times in 2011 and filed for bankruptcy. David Turpin had worked as an engineer for Northrop Grumman. His name is also registered with the Department of Education as the principal of Sandcastle Day School, operating out of the home.
Around the nation, another cold snap has much of the northern states in its grips, causing a massive pileup on a snowy highway in Indiana. A semi-truck collided with a Greyhound bus on I-65 south of Bonneville. The crash caused a chain reaction with several other big rigs running into each other. It's unknown if anyone was hurt. Another big rig accident, this time in Mississippi. Icy roads caused this tractor trailer to jackknife, blocking all lanes of the highway. And more semi-trouble, this time in Oregon. A big rig crashes through a guardrail, plunging into the Columbia River off I-84. The driver and 2 other people were hospitalized. Bystanders waded in the water to help the injured driver. Police say everyone involved will be okay. Well, snow is now covering roads in states not used to these conditions. This is in North Texas. Residents waking up to ice-covered roads. Temperatures in the area are expected to remain in the single digits. And an ice patch is to blame for this crash, caught on a police dash cam. You can see the car barreling down the road before losing control. Police say the accident actually saved the driver from getting seriously injured. The cruiser stopped the vehicle from sliding down the embankment. Henry, your hometown's getting some wild weather too, right?
Yeah, and I like the story that you said there. A lot of folks will say, yeah, in the north, we can handle that kind of weather, but the story that you mentioned actually explains the whole thing, because in the south, when we get winter precipitation down there, it doesn't start out as snow.
Fire crews in California had to pull off a tricky rescue yesterday after a baby cow fell into a well. It was stuck down there for about 3 hours. The bewildered bovine had to be pulled out with a winch. That whole time, the worried mama cow was close by. After they pulled out the 300-pound baby, he was returned back with his mom. Well, Target just signed a sweet new partnership. The company announcing today that it's pairing with Dillon's Candy Bar. The big box retailer and the boutique sweet supplier have come up with 14 treats for Valentine's Day. The candies range from gummies to chocolate bars and candy necklaces. Every item is priced between $2 and $10. Over now to the sweetest part of West Dakota Fox, Henry Blakes.
Thank you so much. We start out our Wednesday morning. We will be starting out in the single digits and teens. Dickinson possibly even starting the morning in the 20s. The wind, not bad for most, possibly a little breezy across Minot and eastern Montana, but the wind will pick up later on during the day for everyone. Could even result for blowing snow across the north, the east, and the far west. Southwest and west wind tomorrow, 15 to 20 for some. So it is going to be breezy but mild, possibly near 40 degrees over the next few days for some. That is going to result in some melting, not complete, but a little bit. Next front pushes through for Thursday night and Friday. Slight chance of rain or snow mix there. Another front the second half of the weekend, which will drop temperatures back to normal. But for right now, no Arctic blast underway.
Henry, you're spoiling us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll have to change that, huh?
You give it, then you take it away. We'll see you tomorrow.